I almost got Looney Tuned right there. So, I heard recently something about the amount of unplayed games in people's Steam library adds up to be like almost $20 billion. Today, I'm going to make a dent in my list of unplayed games on Steam. Currently, I'm at 167 unplayed games out of 218 games owned. Now, my Steam library is mainly full of awesome games, but let's be real, we all have some questionable games in our library. Maybe you got it for free, maybe it was 90% off, or maybe you bought it drunk. But when there are so many unplayed games available, I don't really know if I can make time to play Skatebird. Well, I'm making the time today. So today, let me knock out some unplayed games from my Steam library that I'm probably never going to really play. First game, just because I mentioned it already, is Skatebird. I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. You are a skating bird. It's like Tony Hawk, but instead of a fake hawk, there's a real bird. On a random note, did you know that Tony Hawk has a new cartoon coming out called Skatebird? The game is cute, but I don't particularly recommend it. Thank God I only paid $6 for it. Next game. Oh boy, this is probably one of the worst games that I have in my inventory. Kandidatos Kart. It's basically like Mario Kart, but instead of Mario characters, you have Brazilian politicians. I don't even know why I bought this game, even though I only spent only $1 on it. I almost got Looney Tuned right there. I can't believe I fell for that. I obviously do not recommend this game, and it's also only playable in Portuguese. Next game, Actua Soccer. I bought this game for $6, and I probably only bought this game because I played it as a kid. Is that Michael Owen? You know it's an old game with Michael Owen on the cover. Look at this cutting edge graphics. I believe the actual sports series had other sports game as well that was pretty fun at the time. I don't particularly recommend it just because it's so old.
Oh, great goal! Diving header leaving the keeper absolutely stranded.
Next game is called Last Chick. Imagine you're a chicken during the zombie apocalypse. You play as a chicken in 3 different modes: rescue, escape, and defense. You have to protect your chicks from zombies. You can throw your unbreakable eggs to knock them down, or you can even throw bombs at it. This game looks good and has pretty banging music, but it's just not that fun to play. Thankfully, I only paid $3 for it. Interesting premise, but pass. Now, this is an interesting game. It's called Spermination. You play as a tadpole trying to reach its destination. I got this game for free, thankfully. It's pretty awful. It's a pretty simple shooter/racing game. You can put rockets and engines on your tadpoles for maximum performance. I tried to get first place to see what happens, but the best I could do was second place. Oh well. Next game. This is probably the worst game on my Steam library, and it's called Uni. Good luck trying to search for this game on a search engine. Thankfully, it was free. It's basically a collection of minigames that's not even remotely good. There is also no single player mode, so don't get it if you have no friends. I guess it can be a fun drinking game or something at a party, but there's probably so many other games that can serve you better for that purpose. Next game. I have random good games in my inventory too, like Stanley Parable. I never played this game, but I've heard nothing but good things about this game. I always wanted to play the game, but couldn't find the time to, and that changes today. If you haven't heard of Stanley Parable before, it's a walking simulator basically. You work in an office every day until one day you realize you're all alone. The narrator tells you what you should be doing, but it's ultimately up to you to choose what to do. The game is smart, original, and funny. I highly recommend it. I will not be showing too much visuals from the game because it's best to play blind without any prior knowledge.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Next game. I didn't know about this game before playing it, but I had a lot of fun playing 10 Second Ninja. It's one of those puzzle platformer games where you have to destroy all enemies in 10 seconds. You get awarded 3 stars or less depending on your time. Now I think about it, there aren't too many get 3 stars games anymore. I'm sure there's many similar games out there, but I had fun with 10 Second Ninja due to its tight controls and fun story. I would definitely play this game again if it was like on a handheld. Perfect game for Switch or Vita. Next is a game called Bear and Breakfast. I may have a thing for bears, and I do love me some breakfast, so perfect game for me, right? Probably the reason why I bought it. Once I started playing, what I found was a story-based RPG with charming characters. I can see that there was a lot of love and care that went into this game. I do wish the game was more sandbox than story-based, but I don't think that's a fair reason to not like the game. Maybe this is a game I will come back to and spend some time in the future. Last game, Twinkle Star Sprites. I bought this game because I remember playing it in the arcade as a kid. All the old Neo Geo stuff has a special place in my heart. I always thought this was a very unique game. It's like a head-to-head vertical shooter battle. If you shoot your targets, it will attack your opponents on the other side and vice versa. I do recommend it, especially for those who were too poor to afford a Neo Geo as a kid, which I'm assuming is basically everyone. Now the list of unplayed games on my Steam went from 167 out of 218 to 157 out of 218. As for the rest of them, I will play them one day.